America, the land of the free and the home of the brave. We love a good party, don't we? Especially when it lights up the sky. And what's our biggest party? You guessed it, July 4th. It's a day filled with joy, laughter, and togetherness. We're talking barbecues, parades, and enough fireworks to make you think aliens are invading again. It's a spectacle like no other, but amidst all the fun, we're celebrating something truly special, our freedom. It's a day to remember and honor our history. But hold up, let's rewind for a moment. Why July 4th? What's the big deal with 1776? Why do we celebrate this specific day? Well, picture this, America back then, not so united. It was a time of great struggle and uncertainty, just 13 colonies ruled by a king across the ocean. A king who imposed his will without our consent. And let's just say King George III, he wasn't exactly Mr. Popular. His policies were harsh and unfair. Taxes, restrictions, you name it. The colonies had enough. They yearned for freedom, for a chance to govern themselves. So, on July 4, 1776, our founding fathers did something pretty ballsy. They gathered in Philadelphia in the heat of summer to make a decision that would change the course of history. They said, you know what, King George, we're breaking up with you. They were tired of the taxes, the lack of representation, and the heavy hand of British rule. They wrote it all down in a little document we now call the Declaration of Independence. It wasn't just a list of grievances, it was a bold statement of their vision for a new nation. Basically, a giant, it's not me, it's you, letter to the king. They were clear. This was about creating a better future for themselves and their descendants. Now, this wasn't just some angry text message. This document was revolutionary. It was read aloud in public squares, igniting the hopes and dreams of the colonists. It said everyone deserves basic human rights, life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Powerful stuff, right? These were radical ideas at the time, challenging the very foundations of monarchy and aristocracy. But declaring independence and actually getting it, two very different things. Cue the American Revolution. The fight for freedom was just beginning, and it would be a long and arduous journey. The Declaration of Independence is more than just old parchment. It's the blueprint for a nation. Thomas Jefferson, the main writer, was a pretty smart dude. He believed in government by the people, for the people. No more kings, no more tyranny. The Declaration said everyone has the right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Not just rich guys, not just landowners. Everyone. This was radical for its time. And guess what? These ideas, they weren't just for America. They inspired people all over the world to fight for their own freedom. Section 4, Fighting for Freedom, the American Revolution. Declaring independence was one thing, but winning it, that took guts, grit, and a whole lot of gunpowder. The American Revolution wasn't a walk in the park, it was a brutal war, full of hardship and sacrifice. But our ancestors, they were determined. They fought for their ideals, for a future where they could govern themselves. And guess what? They won. The American Revolution wasn't just about independence. It was about proving that we the people have the power of the. Section 5, Celebrating Freedom, then and now. So, back to July 4th, a day that has evolved significantly over the centuries. The first few Independence Days were probably pretty chill affairs, simple yet meaningful. Maybe some picnics, some speeches, and definitely some fireworks, but nothing like the grand celebrations we see today. But over time, it became a national holiday, a day that unites us all, a day to remember our history, our values, and the price of freedom. It's a day that brings communities together. Today, we celebrate with parades, barbecues, and yes, even more fireworks. The festivities have grown in scale and spirit, but let's not forget the real meaning of the day, honoring the bravery of those who fought for our freedom. Their sacrifices laid the foundation for the nation we cherish. It's a reminder that freedom is precious and it's something we should never take for granted. Each year, we reflect on the struggles and triumphs that have shaped our country. So this 4th of July, let's celebrate our independence. Let's remember our history, the journey we've taken, and the milestones we've achieved. And let's keep fighting for a more perfect union for everyone. Together, we can continue to build a nation that upholds the ideals of liberty and justice for all.